South Dakota. First of all, great one as we saw last week at Mount Sac, and you got another job done this week. And then, of course, being right next to a legend, of course. Just, how fun was it out there? Being with the alma mater, but also, being with someone that was once in your shoes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, today was kind of just obviously making sure my body felt okay and working through the cold weather and stuff and just getting some good reps. But it was really great to jump with Emily today.
I'll take that as a compliment. No, it's really fun jumping with the USD girls. So, and having Derek around is always helpful. Derek's getting pretty good at having 5 girls out of 7 in a competition, so he stays pretty busy, and I'm really glad that he still helps me out.
How similar, when the opportunities line up with your schedule, how similar is this to like what the dynamic is, and either of you can answer like on a given day in Vermilion?
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
I mean, the atmosphere that the college girls bring is just a lot of fun and a lot of high energy. They have a really good group right now, so it's really fun.
Yeah. I mean, you said it best. I mean, it's just a really good environment being around such good girls, and having Derek there is a really great thing to have. So, yeah.
When you're coming off a great Mount Sac relays, I mean, you had a PR. I think you PR'd twice.
Yes.
You said last
Yeah.
week. So
Double trouble.
What has kind of been like at practice, like things have been going well, and whether it's the dynamic between all you ladies, or just maybe it's something you've been working on. Maybe it's something you learned from Emily.
Yeah,
as well.
for sure. Well, the last few weeks I've been working through an injury, like I mentioned last week. But so it was kind of just like making sure to stay light, but still getting in good work at practice, and just making sure to tune in with my body and knowing where I'm at.
Well, this indoor season's been pretty good for you.
Yeah, actually, it's been a lot of fun. And kind of like she was mentioning, staying healthy is huge. And just a lot of that's trial and error, figuring out what you can handle and what you can't handle. And me being a little bit older, 32 almost, I've figured it out the hard way. But I've been feeling great, and yeah, it's been really fun.
But to put on the kit, though, and represent the United States at Worlds for the first time, I mean, just explain. Second time.
Yeah, but the first time was a long time ago, 2017 outdoor.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was kind of like a relief almost. Like I've been putting in a lot of work like everybody does, and so to finally make another team was just like validating almost in kind of what I'm doing and still enjoying the sport. So.
Emily, you've seen every incarnation of what Blake Bolden can dream up out here. You've been outdoors, you've had outdoor competitions that have gone indoors, you've been in malls, but just the fact that they want to still make, even if it is you as a South Dakota legend and all the current stars at South Dakota, even the ones brave enough to take on the elements out there, like just the fact that the meet wants to continue to promote pole vaulting at the highest level. Like just how special has that been throughout your career coming back here?
Yeah, I have always loved Drake relays. The fans go through it. They sit there in the rain, cold, wind, shine, doesn't matter. And the officials are fantastic. They're always super accommodating for the athletes. They want what's best for us, and yeah, Drake relays will always have a special place in my heart. So.
And obviously, Anna, leading into Summit League, I mean, just the amount of depth. I mean, it's like I'll put your group in the women's pole vault up against any other team's depth in any event at that meet. Like how empowering is that? How inspiring is that? That as long as the group is healthy, at home, that the rest kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah, honestly, it's just really cool just being with such like a high caliber group all the time. And we've been the top vault squad for about 4 weeks now, I think. And so just going into that with like a really good mindset and just being around each other and being positive is just really cool.
It's a long road this year.
Yeah.
It's a very, very long road this year. And I assume the next meet is going to be pre.
They don't have women's pole vault.
Not this year?
Nope. I will probably jump at the home meet. USD has a couple home meets in a row, and then I will compete at the Doha Diamond League on May 16th. Yeah. So trying to kind of get ready for that.
Yeah, a lot of competitions, especially, are going to be overseas. Grand Slam doesn't have field stuff for you guys. So how are you going to accommodate to the traveling and leading up to USA's in July?
Yeah, I think just getting any meet I can. I always love jumping at the USD home meets. It's a perfect kind of rust buster to get going again. Get to jump with Derek in a comfortable environment, because you never know what kind of setup you're going to have in Europe, what kind of weather you're going to have. And even today was a perfect example, jumping in the cold and kind of just getting used to some elements that you don't have to deal with indoor. Keep cracking out meets, getting used to it.
And to be able to find that level of consistency in two totally different climates, and then Vermilion is a climate unto its own and whatnot. How much? I mean, like the bars are super encouraging, but just your adaptability, like your toughness and and grit and determination, like to everybody would love the conditions like it was at Mount Sac last week, but even then it was like part headwind, part tailwind, crosswind or whatever.
Yeah.
So just being able to kind of be challenged with all that and still be able to execute at the level that you're doing, like how much optimism does that give you going into May?
Well, so coming from Colorado, most of my state meets were snowing, and so I was competing at 10 o'clock at night in the snow, and so just being able to be raised with that environment kind of helped me be more tough with environments like that. And then just being consistent from my training in the fall has really helped a lot. So just being able to trust my training that I've done in the past really helps me be confident that I can go into conference and first rounds with a lot of confidence. Yeah.
Emily, you've been around the sport, as you said, for a little bit. The World Shot Put Series, your thoughts and how it's kind of some people have kind of compared it to pole vault and high jump a little bit, just the trying to get field events to get that attention as well.
No, I thought it was super unique and a really, really cool thing. I'm pretty good friends with Megan, which is Ryan's wife now, and just hearing them talk about this whole process leading up to the first actual event opening up at Drake was really special. They had a huge crowd. A lot of people were going in on the live stream too. They had a ton of viewers. So I think that's really fun and really shows shot put has a great crowd. Pole vault has a great crowd. Like all the field events, they have a lot of people that back them, and I think it's really fun and unique.
But Megan and I had to correct Ryan because he was saying there's never a congregation of people like this for one particular event, and we're like, not so fast, pole vault summit in Reno every single year.
Yep,
and Megan's like, I know, I can't get him to come. And I was like, well, he'll learn.
Yeah, he will.
But
it was really cool.
But I mean, in obviously, there is that unique aspect of every January in Reno, the pole vault summit. But do you think that it's something that would be attractive or marketable? Emily and Anna, you can weigh in as well. Like in terms of just kind of changing the presentation, if you will, of pole vault, kind of the same way that Ryan was adapting that with the shot put series.
I've been in a competition, Belarus, the match in 2019, I believe that was, and that had something it was a different rule. You only had 6 or 8, I don't remember now, it was a while ago, 6 or 8 bar clearances total in the meet, and you had to be done. So that was kind of a unique thing because it adds a little bit of kind of chess to it. You have to have a strategy type of thing, which I didn't hate that. A lot of people were unsure about it, but I think that was kind of cool. But otherwise, just a simple mall vault or street vault, those are always hits. So
what if you just spin a wheel and it lands on a certain height?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And just do something like that.
Yeah.
There's creativity involved with everything like that.
Yeah.
But back during the pandemic, when they were just trying to keep the sport alive, Katie, Katarina, Alicia, they were doing it was like endurance, how many you can
it was 4 meters in 30 minutes or something. How many times could you clear it? So that would be a fun competition.
Okay, so as you make, we want to celebrate you at South Dakota for as long as you are, but when you look at what the future of it could be, 5 years down the line when you're competing, I don't know if you still will be, but if you're competing, as an elite post-collegiate athlete, do those aspects of kind of just changing it up a little bit in terms of the pole vault, do those interest you?
Yeah, obviously I don't have a ton of experience yet. I'm still young and I'm still growing every day, and so I just think 5 years from now it's hard to say exactly where I'll be, but I'd love to get involved in stuff like that. So yeah.
The spin the wheel ideas.
Yeah, I'd love that.
We'll keep it rolling.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.